Hello everyone, today we will do pulled pork. First we'll put it for a few hours on the smoker and then we will cook it to sous vide for about 24 to 28 hours depending how tender you want it. Enjoy! Alright, here is what you will need for the sous vide pulled pork. Of course, some pork meat. You can either do the traditional shoulder, Boston butt as it also is called, or as I do here with the pork neck. Just be sure that there is enough intramuscular fat on the whole piece. Otherwise, of course, for trimming you will need a knife. The sharper the better, it makes it easy for you. Then for the first layer of flavor I have some mustard and a brush to put it on. Just find it's easier or gives a more consistent coat. Then of course some pepper, salt, and I'll use also garlic powder of course. You can use whatever seasoning you like, generally just after your taste. Alright, then we will trim those a bit because all the harder or surface fat we don't really need for sous vide. Just makes it easier for us. So generally we will take everything away that we won't want to eat. So all the outside layers of fat. Usually when you would do it on a smoker, in a long cook, you would like to keep that on so that it's continuously basting your meat. As we do it in a, or for most of the time, in a bag, we will not use that or need that. Alright, I'll get the other one ready, then I'll be back with the seasoning. Alright, now that they're both trimmed up, we're gonna put a nice little coating of mustard on them so that the rub will stick better. You could also use oil or Worcestershire sauce, or however that's pronounced, it's always a bit weird. Just something that it will stick better and add another layer of flavor to the whole thing, because that's what barbecue mostly is about, stacking flavors and creating whatever flavor profile you wish for. You can also do that with your hands. So as I said before, I just like better like that because it gives me a more uniform or consistent coating in the end. Alright, now that we have coated the upper side, we'll start with the salt. The bigger your piece of meat is, the more seasoning you should use, or you can use, especially with sous vide, because it tries to, or it tends to like wash it off in the bag, so you cannot really have too much, or at least not that easily. So, and of course garlic powder. Alright, I'll do the other side, then we will see us outside on the smoker. Alright, so we're now outside and I already started the drum smoker in this case. It's snowy, so I don't want to be out here too long. But it's just a small fire, or only a bit of coal to go for this cook, because we will only take like 1.5, 2 hours maybe to get a nice smoke into the meat, and a bit of roasting or caramelization. Today I will use some beech wood. Usually you would use maybe some fruit wood like apple or cherry, but again, it's up to taste, well, as of everything in barbecuing or cooking in general. So I'll get back to you as soon as we can put on the meat. Smoker is now started. I already put on the wood, as I said, beech wood, and I'm letting it settle a bit till the smoke is a bit lighter, but then I'll already put on the meat. So the smoke has a bit settled a bit, just a bit different now with the cold weather. It looks a bit more than it is. We'll put on the meat now. And it's on. Maybe something to the setup. I did not use a water pan because I want also some char flavor or some roast aromas. Other than that, just normal, indirect, more or less direct smoking. And we'll do that for about 1.5, 2 hours, depending on when the color is to my liking. See you in a bit. Alright, after about 1.5 hours, I have turned the heat up. That's where we're at the moment. Putting a bit of a char on, as I said before. You can do that or not, that's up to you. I think it's generating a bit more of flavor, and that's what we're after. I'll finish this and then see you inside when we put the pork in the bags for the sous vide. Now that we're back inside and the meat is cooled down significantly, we will go and bag them up for the sous vide. So as you can see here, I folded around to the edge of the bag so that I can still make a nice seam there in the end, and there's no dirt I would have to wash off. Just pack it in like so, and the other one like so. Here's the vacuum machine. And just make sure before that you're where you want to put the seam, that you have a dry and clean area there. And then maybe while it's vacuuming, just massage it a bit so that all the air goes out. because I'm going to put this more than 24 hours, and just to be sure, I will put a double bag or a second bag, just so I sleep well tonight and don't have to fear any problems. And that's that. Be sure to check the seam. If you're happy with it, it's okay. If not, like I am now, a bit paranoid, I'll just put another seam on top of that. Alright. Perfect. So I'm doing the other one, and then I set up the sous vide and see you there. I set up the sous vide. I have an immersion circulator on a big tank here. Not sure how big it is. I will write it in if I find it still. I set the temperature to 69 degrees Celsius. That's around 152 in Fahrenheit. About 28 hours. Somewhere between 24 and 28 hours we will take it out, depending on when we want to eat. And then yeah, I put like a rib holder in there where we can stack the meat. And then, because pork is usually floating, I'm gonna put some weight on top of it as well. Just have or make sure that it is all immersed. I'll use a cooling rack, push it a bit down, and then probably some stuff on top of it, just to make it not bubble up or float up. Right, see you tomorrow then. Now about 25 hours have elapsed, and we're going to take the pulled pork out of the bath. Now that we have the pork out of the bath, of course we would dry it off a bit from the outside, and then we cut open the bags. Just be careful, especially with the inner bag, because as you can see here, there is lots of juice in the bag. Don't waste the juice juices by throwing them away. You can either make a nice sauce with them, or if your pulled pork is for some reason a bit dry, or if you would just like it a bit wetter of sorts, you just put in the juice in the end after you shred it. Alright, just cut off the corner so that you're having an easier time disposing or emptying the bag of the juices. And as it comes out of a 69 degree or 152 degree Fahrenheit bath, of course it's a bit warm, so don't hurt yourself. Well, the smell is absolutely amazing. Alright. Let's see what we got here. I've put down already some kitchen towel so that I can put it on. Before you finish the bark, which is optional but highly recommended, you have to pat it dry so that you can have a nice crispy outside layer. Alright, number 2. So, I can already see it's wiggling. I will pat it dry. Just be careful, because if it's really soft, you might already start shredding it in this stage. Smells amazing, can't wait. Alright, let me finish this up and I'll get you closer to the frying pan so you can have a good look. Okay, the pan is now hot, and by hot I mean screaming hot, because you just want to sear the outside, not cook it further. You can see it wiggle it. That's always a good sign that it will be a very nice pulled pork in the end. I'm using the big tongs so that I'm not putting pressure on a small point which would go just through the meat. I can already feel that it's very soft, but still a bit firm. There's still some bite to it. Perfect. You can see here it already falls apart. Alright, I'll finish this and the other one up, and then we'll start to pull. Okay, now that we have it seared, of course you can use, instead of the pan, you could use a torch or the oven, maybe the grill again, whatever you have available and whatever you want. So this is that. Then we're about to pull it. So it's just shredded part. As you can see, it's very, very moist. And for shredding, you could use, of course, all those fancy bear claws and stuff, but why not doing it with a fork? Or if it's tender enough, you can even do it with your hands. Just don't burn yourself. As I said before, just put in some of the juices that you had, as much as you like, so that it gets like rehydrated. Perfect. Give it a quick toss. And that's the pulled pork. So there we have it, pulled pork. Time for a taste. It's nice. You can see a little smoke ring. It's juicy and tasty. Very nice. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe to us, and if you want to see more, also press the bell button. Thank you very much.